Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Listen, I'm glad to have you guys here. This is your virus update. And people want to know out there, how can you protect yourself? I've got comments in the comment section, people asking, can you protect yourself from this virus? We're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about the virus. And first, we're going to start the charts right here, and we're going to take a look at what's going on. First thing we're going to talk about here is something called normalcy bias. And I might be guilty of having a little bit of normalcy bias. Yesterday I did a show. I'm still hopeful that they're going to be able to contain this virus. It says normalcy bias is a belief people hold when there is a possibility of a disaster. It causes people to underestimate both the likelihood of the disaster and its possible effects, because people believe that things are always functioning the way things have normally have functioned. And anyway, normalcy bias. I might have a little bit of that, but let's talk about the virus. And last night I was on the internet and I was seeing the experts in this, and they were actually saying that it's more than likely, according to them, very possibly going to become some sort of a global pandemic. And I guess they're the experts. I'm not a real expert in viruses, but I am able to do research into what these viruses do and what these viruses are and produce shows for you guys based on my research. But the experts are saying that this thing's probably going to become a pandemic. And so I have to go by what they're saying, and I have to put my normalcy bias aside, where I think, they'll probably contain it. Well, maybe they won't be able to, according to the experts. But, so now let's take a look at what you can do to protect yourself. This remdesivir is I guess it's called remdesivir, is codename GS5734. It's an antiviral drug. It's developed by Gilead Sciences, and the Chinese, I guess, are going to go into clinical trials. It might take a while before this drug's available for all, because they have to go through clinical trials and everything else, and they did use this drug. They tried clinical trials during the African Ebola virus epidemic of 2013 to 2016. So let's move on with the self-protection sort of thing. We're going to take a look at this. This is a mask that's produced by 3M called an n95 particle respirator. And, well, I went to this site. It says currently unavailable. Yeah, well, we all know the reason why it's unavailable. This respirator right here will... Now, first off, you have to understand that virus particles have a certain size. And they measure small things in something called nanoparticles, little tiny particles, particulate. Certain size. It's a little round ball-looking thing, the virus, but it can float through the air. It's so small. This mask is rated down to about 0.03 microns. Now that's what they measured in microns. This mask goes down to 0.03 microns, and it filters out like 90% of 0.3 microns. Now, it'll filter smaller microns than that. It'll filter down to 0.1 micron, but it doesn't get as much of the 0.1 micron. Some of them slip through. A few slip through, but it filters a lot of them. So it's not perfect protection against a virus like that for two reasons. One, the virus is, well, the SARS virus was 0.1 micron. That's 0.1 micron. So it's 1/10 of 1 micron in size, the SARS virus. We have to assume, possibly, we don't know for sure, that the new coronavirus is the same size as SARS, but very likely it's in that area, that size range, which would be 0.1 micron, which is 1/10 of the size of a micron. Now, this mask doesn't filter 100% of that size. A few of them can get through, and also, that's one of the things about it. And the second thing about it is it would filter most of them, probably. Not going to say for sure, but filter a lot of it. So it's a help. But the other drawback to this is it has to be fitted on the face properly. Because if there's any gaps around your cheeks or anything like that, air is going to leak in there first. So it has to be fitted around the nose as well. So just to put the mask on, there are probably going to be loose spots around it if it's not fitted. Now, they talk about fitting the mask. Generally, these masks have a tiny little aluminum strip in around the nose. And that little aluminum strip is supposed to be pressed down in around the nose so you get a tight fit. Also, they come in different sizes because people's faces are different sizes. So you got to get the right mask to fit your face, and you got to fit it in around the nose. So that there's no leaks around the edges of the mask. And still, even if you do all that, it's really not suitable for 100% protection against the virus. But it's going to give you better protection than nothing. You know, now what we're going to look at here is, I believe I have a photo up. Okay, here's the levels of protection. Now, these are hazmat suits, and all hazmat suits are not created equal. Level D is where you wear a mask, like that mask I just showed you. That's level D, where you just got basically ordinary clothing on. There's a lot of exposed skin with level D. What you see is all around the face there's exposed skin. They just have one of those masks on, possibly a pair of glasses. And it's somewhat effective. It's better than nothing. But level D, with a virus like this, there's a lot of places it can get in. Around the edges of your mask, around your glasses, the exposed skin around your face with level D. Now, level C is the same somewhat. It's not a whole lot better than level D. There's a lot of exposed skin around your neck. You know, the respirator's probably a little bit better for level C. It's a little bit more effective than level D, but still, for a extreme contagion, level C and level D are like in really close contact. They're not going to be probably not adequate. Now, when you move to level B, you start to get more adequate, because it's bringing its air in from behind the suit with level D, and it's got less exposed skin, or possibly no exposed skin, and it's far more effective. But to be really safe, you need level A. And level A is a pressurized suit. It's entirely pressurized. There's a suit inside a suit, and it gives you the real kind of protection that you need. Is level A hazmat suit. A level A hazmat suit. Pressurized hazmat suit. And after you're in the environment of the virus, in order to be really safe, you have to have the suit washed down with very corrosive type chemicals that kill all viruses before you take the suit off. So we can see by looking at this that there's different levels of protection. Level A is your premium protection from viruses. So those are the different levels of hazmat suits. Now, on a personal level of protection, you know, your best protection is not to get anywhere, is exposure. Essentially exposure to the virus. If you see somebody coughing, stay away from them. The least exposure you get is your best protection. if you're going to get exposed a lot to the virus, you know, if you're going to get in close contact with people who are sick with this virus, you need a level A hazmat suit to be really protected. Of course, every level of protection you get is a help. These face masks are probably a help because they're going to filter some of the virus out. But they're not the answer because these virus particles are so small, and basically how you catch this is if you get your hands on the virus and you touch around your nose, or you touch around your eyes, or you touch around your mouth. Where the virus mostly enters the body is in through your nose. I think that's probably the primary area. Your eyes, and your mouth, and your ears. This is where the virus generally enters your body, and the most times, you know. So keep your hands away from your mouth. Keep your hands away from your nose. Keep your hands away from your ears. Keep your hands away from your eyes. If you are wearing glasses, you're going to have better protection than somebody who's not wearing glasses. Because simply that is, every level of protection you get is going to add to your protection from the virus. It's as simple as that. But the best protection is not being near anyone who has the virus to begin with. And the only way you're going to be truly safe is in a level A hazmat suit. Okay? But the more you limit your exposure, the more you're going to be safe. And so, you want to know how to protect yourself from this virus? One of the biggest ways is to avoid contact with other people. Stay home. And if you are out someplace, like the mall or someplace like that, and somebody's coughing their head off and they're sick looking or whatever, don't go over there and want to shake hands and get close to them, because they could be spewing virus. Wash your hands. And keep your hands away from your face. Keep your hands away from your nose. Keep your hands away from your mouth. Stay away from people who are coughing. Try to avoid human contact. These are the ways you can help to lessen. You're not going to, unless you got a level A hazmat suit, you're not going to be 100% safe from this virus. But you can limit your amount of exposure to it. And so I guess what I'm saying is for most people, well, only thing you're going to be able to do is limit your exposure. And with something this contagious, well, you know, limiting your exposure might keep you from catching it, might not. But it's better than going out and hugging and kissing somebody who has it. You know, I mean, it's just that's the way it works. So, anyway, the virus is mostly in China right now. There's been a few sporadic cases in the United States. And so your likelihood of coming across this virus right now in the United States is very, very, very small. So the danger level right now is low. That could change. But for now, the danger level is low. Same way here in Canada. There's been like 4 cases here in Canada. I think there's 9 or 10 in the United... 9, I think it is, in the United States. Anyway, and you consider how many people are in the United States, and that they've had like 9 or 10 cases. Your odds of running into one of those people who have had it are about the same as you're winning, if you buy one lottery ticket and winning the lottery. That's your odds. Your odds are about the same as getting struck by lightning. But all of that could change in the future. And so maybe this show I'm giving you right now is for the future, you know. These masks will help somewhat if they're fitted properly to your face. But it's not a complete Don't, in other words, what I'm saying is, if you see somebody coughing, don't trust the mask 100% to save you. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you guys in the next show. Bye-bye.